over South. West, you'll recall, got out of jail in their Sunday game in the match against North Adelaide. West were fronting up today to their third game in 7 days as a result of some inexplicable programming by the league. And that was something that wouldn't have done their cause any good. We're going to pick up the game at the 4.5-minute mark of the first quarter. With me in the commentary position is Daryl Hicks. Johnston again opposing Micken. Johnston taking clean possession. The hand pass wasn't a good one to Craigie, but this allows Micken to send West Adelaide forward. Working into the breeze, coming down to meet it was the player playing at full forward, that's Miller. He couldn't do anything with it. This is a congested passage of play at centre-half forward, and someone's going to be penalised here. It'll be the Port Adelaide player, and the free kick is going to Conlon. He plays on quickly, down towards Miller. A good lead from Miller. He got away from his opponent in Kennedy. And now Miller has the ball at left full forward. He's gone short. I don't know about the wisdom of that. Yes, there was some wisdom in it. He's found Herbert. Now, Herbert is within easy scoring distance. Despite the fact that he's kicking into the breeze, distance will be no object. He's only 20 metres out. He's on a fairly acute angle. You can see the boundary line in the background. But this would be a handy goal into this breeze if West Adelaide can convert here. And I think he might have. He has. That's a very quick reply from West Adelaide. That's their first goal. They're 1 goal straight. They trail Port 1-2. An enterprising start to this game here at Football Park. 5.5 minutes have gone in the first quarter. Port 1-8. Lead West at 1 goal straight. And it's Port going forward again, and Ebert takes the mark at left half forward. Now players are calling for the ball in the pocket, but Ebert thinks he can get the distance with the aid of this wind. And this kick will give us a good indication of just how strong the breeze is. He's 55 metres out from goal. It's going to land just a little bit short. Evans will claim the mark at the second attempt. It's been allowed. Oh, comment from Daryl Hicks.
Well, I would go against Laurie Argent from here. It looked as if the West Adelaide player in Peter Winter spoilt the ball and knocked it away from Tim Evans, but the umpire was closer to the scene and has called a mark.
Evans is 5 metres out. He's kicking to the southern end of the ground, sorry, the northern end of the ground. And a spate of goals here at Football Park. Port moved to 2-2. West at 1 goal straight. 6.5 minutes played in the first quarter.
You see it on the replay as Peter Winter goes for the spoil against Tim Evans. Evans always able to body out a smaller and lighter player. You judge it. Was it a mark? Umpire Argent thought it was.
Now, West Adelaide didn't gain much in distance, but they're going to have to be controlled in their movement forward working into this breeze. That's a pretty good kick, although it was holding up in the wind. Front position will be rewarded on a day such as this, particularly going into the breeze, as eventually it comes out to that player in Harvey, who got the hand pass away to a teammate, and Port Adelaide will get out of trouble, if albeit temporarily. Now there's a chance for them to tidy up as it goes in towards Russell. Russell is their centre-half forward. He's about 50 metres out and unloads with a magnificent kick. And that's another goal to Port Adelaide. That was a superb kick by young Russell from 55 metres out. Port 3-2, West 1 goal.
Poor play from West Adelaide half-back flanker and Tony Burgess. He took his body off the line of the ball, gave Port possession, and Wayne Russell with the perfect running shot at goal converts for Port Adelaide's third 6-pointer.
Well, he's a very solid customer, Russell, but he's also fairly agile and he's prepared to throw his weight around, which is always an advantage on the half-forward line. But his co-forwards have done it badly down there, and the free kick goes the way of West Adelaide. Back towards Anderson, though, and Port have the opportunity to lock the ball in their forward line. The kick goes down to Knight. Now, Knight is inside half-forward, and he's indicating that he's going to kick it long. 25 minutes have gone in the first quarter. Evans dummies the lead, feigns the lead. Knight knows that he can get the distance with the aid of this breeze. Can he produce the desired accuracy? Port with a commanding lead. A real hook shot from Knight, but a pretty good one. I think he snuck it through, and now Port are really starting to show their ascendancy on the scoreboard. They move to 7-4, 46. West 1 goal straight, 6 points, and we've played 25.5 minutes in the first quarter. Port Adelaide lead by 35 points as we start the second quarter here at Football Park, and it's Port who are endeavouring to go forward from the outset. Dreyer getting the relieving kick for West Adelaide. Back towards full forward, and Herbert. So Port Adelaide need to make an immediate impression on the scoreboard, and they have the opportunity here with Herbert pulling down a well-judged mark. He had his problems in the first quarter when he was being forced to kick into the breeze. Let's see what he does this time. He's only 30 metres out, directly in front. And that's a good start to the second quarter for West Adelaide. They're 3 goals straight, 18, trailing Port 7-5-47.
Des Herbert continuing his good form from last Tuesday night against Footscray, marking from behind his opponent Tony Williams. A good mark and a 6-pointer.
Micken is at left half back, or plays on far too comfortably as far as Port Adelaide are concerned. Down towards centre wing, but a comfortable mark taken for Port down there by Harvey.
Good solid defender John Harvey, often given the job as a stopper off the back line.
There again, you see that ball holding up in the wind as Port Adelaide try to kick into the breeze. The ball going back towards the half-forward line, and a magnificent mark taken by Kemp. A spectacular mark by Kemp over the top of Conlon. He may well have injured himself, but that was a very clever mark. Boundary throw in front of our broadcast position here at Football Park. A chance there for Port Adelaide through that player in Evans, and now they've got the ball moving. This is Marnie. He was on the end of the Bradley hand pass. Marnie's trying to draw a player. No one wants to come to him. Good defensive football by West Adelaide. They've covered the loose man well. It's with Evans. Hooks it in towards full forward, and the mark has been taken by Ebert. This is Craig Ebert playing well up the ground. Obviously, I would say playing as a follower. And now he has the opportunity to shoot for goal, and it would be a badly and much needed goal from Port Adelaide's point of view if he can convert. He has. That relieves the pressure slightly. Porter 8-6. West of 5 goals straight. 10.5 minutes gone in the second quarter.
That's the play of the day so far. Bradley finds Marnie to Evans, and Evans snaps to the square. The ball is marked by Craig Ebert. That's the play of the day from Port Adelaide for a 6-pointer.
Dexter Kennedy bringing the ball back into play for Port Adelaide. A short kick is an awkward one, but Craig Ebert is equal to the occasion, and he's taken the mark. Ebert up towards the half-back line. Leslie knocked on by Grosser. No one able to break away with it. Eventually it comes to Conlon. That was intended for Borchard. It went too far for him. Williams is pushed in the back. Play allowed to go on. Crashing through for Port was Harvey. He made room for himself, goes looking for Knight. The kick just carried him, and Burgess takes the mark, and he'll get a 15-metre penalty, but not a bad free given away there by Knight, because there were 3 West Adelaide players in advance of the play who were standing there on their own. Now he has to kick towards a pack. Herbert is there. The ball comes towards Filkey, or Morris, is it? It's Morris who's hooked with the left foot. A pretty good snap by Morris, and West Adelaide get closer. They're 7-1, Porter 8-6, and we've played 18.5 minutes in the second quarter. Grosser coming across to stand his man belatedly. Marnie is loose. The kick was ill-directed. Filkey was underneath it. Kinnear, the umpire's whistle is gone. And it will be a West Adelaide free kick to be taken by Rennie.
Players becoming frustrated with the umpiring.
Rennie has a player loose in Herbert in the centre of the ground. Herbert, the defensive side of the centre for West Adelaide, decides to break things up a little bit with a long kick down towards centre half forward. Crashing through for Port Adelaide there was a player in Harris. Harris out wide to Bradley, got an unfortunate bounce, allowed McKinnon in, shrugs the tackle and then looks towards full forward. Miller a chance at the back. He's got the run of the ball and in towards an open goal, and West Adelaide get another important goal into the time-on period of the second quarter. Port are 8-7, they lead West Adelaide 8-1. Williams across to the centre of the ground, Conlon. Now, Conlon has got plenty of room in which to move, but very few leads on offer. Players calling for the ball in the full forward area. It's carried Miller's head just. The umpire's whistle has gone, and the free kick is going the way of a Port Adelaide player, and that's Harvey. He's been resolute across the half-back line for Port this afternoon, and he's at centre half-back. Down towards Stephen Williams. He was given plenty of room. Now the Port Adelaide forward line is very open. That's intended for Tim Evans at the back of the pack. He'll take the mark.
Hot mark.
Tim Evans at the top of the goal square. The opportunity to kick the first goal of the quarter for Port. We've played 5.5 minutes. They need to open up a big margin, a big break in this third quarter if they can, to fully test West's fitness and endurance. West playing their third game in 7 days, and Evans from point-blank range has kicked Port Adelaide's 9th goal. They move to 9-9. West to 9-1, 5.5 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Stephen Williams left, unattended at centre half forward, a long kick in. Evans at the back of the pack this time, instead of making front position, took a strong mark to kick an easy goal.
Port stretched their lead to 20 points. 15 and a half minutes played in the third quarter here at Football Park. I wouldn't think the lead is big enough considering that West will have the breeze in the last quarter. Chance for Anderson. Kinnear towards centre half forward, and the mark has been taken for Port by Stephen Williams.
We've seen Stephen Williams take several of those strong marks today.
And that's a good telling kick. He's looking for Evans, who's at the top of the square. Chance now for Ebert, who snaps. He's put it through. And another goal in as many minutes to Port Adelaide from the boot of Ebert. They race to 12 goals, 10, West to 9-2. And now Port start to reassert themselves on the scoreboard. Port Adelaide have kicked 5 goals in this third quarter. West Adelaide haven't added to their half-time goal tally as Herbert sends them forward. And a good mark to Leslie. Now the chance for Port Adelaide to rebound here. They've got Bradley loose. Pass goes Kinnear, but Bradley took his eyes off the ball at the crucial moment. And the free kick is going to go West Adelaide's way. It'll be taken by Burgess. A bad mistake by Craig Bradley.
Very frustrated Port Adelaide centreman, showing that by the way he threw the ball away.
Hand pass goes across to Filkey. He's caught in possession and will be penalised. Well, a comedy of errors at the moment. Marnie has the ball for Port Adelaide. Let's see if he can salvage something out of this passage of football. Evans was the target, and he will be awarded a very good mark. Very strong fingertips has Tim Evans, and he's taken the mark only 30 metres out from goal and almost directly in front. Well, Port Adelaide might just get out of this yet. Evans looking for Port Adelaide's 14th goal. It will be his 4th if he can kick it. And he has. Port Adelaide are opening up a telling break here. They move to 14-13, 97 points. West Adelaide 9-2, 56. And that's at the 22.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Port Adelaide suddenly 41 points in front. Williams to the front of the pack. Kennedy. Kemp. 2 West Adelaide players out there, but the Port Adelaide player has been awarded the mark, and I think that's Kinnear.
Great grab, Rick Kinnear. Front spot, strong hands.
Well, he had to take the mark or he was going to be in all sorts of trouble because he was outnumbered. Micken. Far too tall for his immediate opponent. It was Williams. No, it wasn't. It was Russell. Chance now for West Adelaide. Conlon. Pulled off the hand pass. Herbert. Williams is down there with Kennedy. The front of the pack. Across it goes towards Faulting. That's a pretty good goal. Into the breeze. A great goal, in fact, from John Faulting. Deep in the right full forward pocket. And my word, did West Adelaide need that. 14-13 Port. West 10-2. 24.5 minutes played in the third quarter. Micken winning the tap for West Adelaide again, but they're not taking the ball away decisively from the centre of the ground. Anderson for Port Adelaide. Looking for Ebert. Somerton was the player at the back. Evans feigns the hand pass, makes room for himself and steers the ball through for his 5th. Good, clever football from Tim Evans and a very quick reply from Port Adelaide. They move to 15-13. West to 10-2. 25 minutes gone in the third quarter. Port Adelaide lead by 43 points. The opportunity for them to cause an upset here at Football Park, and Anderson has taken the mark for them on left centre wing. Straight into attack, Port Adelaide, and a goal in the opening minutes would probably just about seal this game. Evans across towards a teammate, but that player was caught. They lost their momentum at the crucial moment. There'll be a bounce down right in the full forward area for Port Adelaide.
What a great opportunity for Port Adelaide then. Great gutsy mark by Anderson running against his opponent.
Port Adelaide lead by 43 points at the start of the third quarter, and a chance for them to goal in the opening seconds of this quarter as the ball's rushed out of play at left full forward. Port are kicking into the wind in this last quarter. West Adelaide, with 3 games behind them in 7 days, this is the third, really have the job in front of them if they're to pull this game out of the fire. Dreyer. Down to the half-back line. Anderson will be first back. Filkey coming in to meet it. Chance in the centre of the ground for Anderson. He's got good pace and he's got teammates in support. Perhaps that's more important at this stage. Ebert, Craig Ebert, Kinnear. That's going to go pretty close. Evans touched. In fact, it went through for a point anyway.
First 5, 7, 10 minutes of this game are critical to Port Adelaide. If they can score 1 or 2 goals, they've had 30 shots to 12.
Winter bringing the ball into play for West Adelaide. Going straight down the centre of the ground. Micken was there. Johnston. This is Russell. And a good mark, a good defensive mark taken by Rennie for West Adelaide. He's got a player loose on centre wing, Filkey. 25, 30 metre hand pass to Faulting. Faulting's at left half forward. West Adelaide need goals and they need them quickly. Not a good kick. Kennedy. That's out of play on the full. That wasn't very good defensive play by Leslie. Having taken the relieving mark for Port Adelaide, he would have been a lot better advised to have gone back and steadied things down. Faulting with the free kick at left half forward. A good mark.
Ben Harris dropping back. He's on the ball in place of Russell.
Port Adelaide with that exchange of hand passes getting out of trouble. They're using the ball pretty well at the moment. Russell, he's got a player loose. This is Craig Ebert. Port Adelaide are at right half forward. They could do something here. Ebert had one bounce too many, I think. Oh, beautifully trapped by Ebert. Brother Russell. Be a good goal if he can score from there. The mark's been taken by Knight. Oh, that's good football. Well, some good skills displayed by Knight. I think Ebert was in fact shooting for goal from the impossible angle. But Knight, showing good skills, has taken the mark 6 or 7 metres out from goal. And a goal at the 3-minute mark of the last quarter kicking into the wind would just about seal West Adelaide's fate. That could be a very important goal to Port Adelaide. They move to 16-16, West a 10-2. Port Adelaide taking all the time in the world at the moment. All they want to do is maintain possession. It's on their half-forward line. Russell. Now he's going to try and draw a player here. No one wants to be drawn. Eventually one was. The hand pass goes across towards Evans. He gets it infield to his namesake, and Tim from 35 metres out has missed.
Great play, Dwayne Russell. Couldn't suck a West Adelaide player towards him, but maintained possession. It's unfortunate that Tim Evans was offline. Great mark. Anthony Williams at the back of the pack.
Kinnear at centre half forward. Down towards Evans in the goal square. Tim Evans with best judgment and best positioning. And he's taken a mark at the top of the goal square and will get a 15-metre penalty for a stupid piece of football by Herbert. Well, the ball was running loose and Herbert put his boot into it, kicked it back to the centre of the ground. And that's taken Tim Evans to the goal line. And I would suggest that if Port Adelaide haven't got this match wrapped up, they will have after this kick. The 12-minute mark of the final quarter. Evans kicks his 6th. Port moved to 16 goals, 17, 119. West a 10-2, 62. The margin's 57 points at Football Park. West Adelaide trying to fight back. That kick came from Herbert. It's down towards their half-forward line. They're not having much luck with the bounce at the moment. Kinnear goes in to meet it. Borchard went in to meet him. And there'll be a bounce down on the left half-forward flank. No, there won't. It'll be broken up with a free kick. Hand pass to Evans. Evans is at centre half back for Port Adelaide. Dreyer is in front. Spoilt by Russell. Russell again, a very determined player. Cantalaftis.
You haven't seen a lot from the West Adelaide key position players. Mark Dreyer, Craig Williams.
Cantalaftis is in all sorts of trouble. I think he's got cramp. He's one of these players that's played in 3 games in 7 days. He's found Bennett, but he is in a lot of trouble in the back pocket, Cantalaftis. And West Adelaide are in a lot of trouble on the scoreboard. There'll be a bounce down midway between the centre and centre half forward for Port Adelaide. Port have done it well. As Hamilton prepares to come back on the ground, Grosser comes off. 57 points the difference. Harris falling in on top of the ball. Gets it to the advantage of a teammate. That was Ebert. Now it goes to Knight. Knight is 35 metres out. This is Evans, and he's taken the mark. Well, Port Adelaide are running riot into the wind. Tim Evans has kicked 6. This is not an easy kick, despite the fact that he's only 2 or 3 metres out from goal. The breeze is blowing across his right shoulder from right to left. Neil Curley has every reason to look pensive and concerned. Evans has split the centre. Port Adelaide 18-17, 125. West Adelaide 10-2, 62. That's 14 and a half minutes into the last quarter. Winter will bring the ball back into play for West Adelaide, but their race has been well and truly run. Another chance for Port at ground level. No one able to break away with the ball. And there will be a bounce down at left half forward.
West Adelaide looking a very average side, and that's what 3 games in 7 days has brought them to.
Johnston winning the tap. He got it down to Bradley. Eventually it was Ebert who gets the hurried kick up towards the full forward area. 19 is Evans. He's looking for his namesake, and Tim Evans has taken yet another mark in that full forward area for Port Adelaide. He's been a dominant player this afternoon. He's kicked 7. Port Adelaide have the game well and truly won. It's becoming something of an Evans benefit match at the moment. As he lines up from point blank range, looking for his 8th and his team's 19th. And he's got both. 19-17, 131 Port. West 10-2, 62. And that's at the 22-minute mark of the last quarter. Well, that was a very strong performance by Port. Let's look at the quarter-by-quarter situation in that game. At quarter time, Port, after they'd kicked with the wind in the first term, led by 35 points. West got back to within a point at half-time, but then Port kicked again in the third quarter to lead by 43 points, and then into the wind in the last quarter. Port, in fact, extended their lead and eventually won by 62 points, 19-17, 131 to 11-3, 69. An outstanding performance from Port. Let's look at the goal scorers in the game. Evans kicked 8 for Port, Knight got 4, and Williams and Marnie both kicked 2. And the main goal scorers for West were Faulting and Miller with 3 each, and Morris and Herbert with 2 each. The best players for Port, Anderson, Evans, Stephen Williams, Knight and Kennedy, and the best for West Adelaide, Faulting, Filkey, Dreyer and Morris. So that was the game that was played at Football Park.